So in my last video, I told you about how difficult it was for me to sit around and wait for something to happen after I had made that difficult decision to revoke my daughter's bond. Well, after weeks of nothing but silence and wondering if I had made the right decision, I finally get a phone call from the Bales Bond couple that had agreed to help me get my pregnant daughter off the streets and into treatment that she so desperately needed. They had located her in another county. She was in jail again. This time it was for car theft. He had been arrested with her, and they were going to travel to the other county and transport her back to a local jail here where we live. Well, a couple hours after I got their call, I got a call from her from the jail, and she was crying, and she couldn't understand why they had both been arrested and he had been released, but she had been told that she had a bench warrant out on her. Well, she had no idea that I had revoked her bond. So they get her and transport her. She calls me from the local jail, which, by the way, is a horrible place by anyone's standards. And she cried and was worried about her baby was going to be born in jail, and she just was begging for my help. Well, I could hear in her voice, and I could tell that this time she was serious. She was really, really frightened. So I hired an attorney. Well, the attorney came up with a plan to ask the judge to drop all of the other charges if she would agree to plead guilty to one charge. And she would have to be on probation for a year and agree to go to a long-term rehab. Well, she did. She agreed to all of this. And she called me every time she could, and she was trying to stay positive. She still didn't know that I had revoked her bond. But that didn't last long. The next time she called me, she told me that she knew what I had done. He had written her a letter and told her, imagine that. And I immediately started crying, and I told her that I felt like that was the only choice that I had. And I asked her not to hate me. Well, I just couldn't believe what she said to me next. She said, "Mom, I don't hate you. I love you." She said, "I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I just could not stop. I love you, and you have saved my life and the life of my unborn baby." Oh my God, what a relief to know that she really didn't hate me, and that she was serious about getting well this time. Well, in order for this plan to be carried out, I had to find a rehab that took in pregnant women. And because when the judge heard the attorney's plea bargain, we had to show proof that there was a bed waiting on my daughter that day. Well, you will not believe the roadblocks that were put in front of me trying to get that accomplished. You just will not believe it. So stay tuned for my next video, and I'll tell you the roadblocks that were put in front of us and how I got over them. You don't want to miss this one.